If you've ever played Minecraft before, specifically Java Edition, you know that 1.8 PvP is not exactly the easiest thing to learn, nor is it the most fun. However, in the year of 2026, it is probably the most brutal thing I have ever experienced when playing any sort of game whatsoever. And in this video, I will tell you why. Those of you that don't know, I actually started playing Minecraft 1.8 properly this year only, and which is surprising because my channel is actually older than the year itself. I started, I think, on December 7th of 2025, and it is now like almost June of 2026, and yet I have still only ever learned to properly PvP on the proper version for like, what now, 3 or 4 months? And I have to say, it's been an experience, man. I mean, at first I was kind of like, I was delighted because of the fact that I get to see the old textures again. But after a while, I realized I'm like, oh my lord, this is not as easy as the YouTubers make it seem. Which when is it ever? But that's not the point. The point is that I was expecting it to be this really nice sort of transition because I had played Bedrock Edition beforehand, and I was hoping for some sort of like a smooth transition. Oh my gosh, because I had played Bedrock Edition beforehand, and I was like hoping for some of my Bedrock skills from 2023 to sort of like translate into Java. Short answer is like they did not at all help me in this environment. It has been nothing but torture. It has been nothing but absolute torture, and I cannot express. Oh my goodness. Yo, can you please get down? I was sort of hoping for some of my Bedrock skills to sort of transition over, but they actually did not at all. And when I first started actually trying to fight in Java, I learned that without actual sort of techniques, you're kind of screwed. I mean, um, try fighting without using any sort of like block hitting or W tapping. It is like incredibly difficult. I mean, especially against this man. Like, look at him. He's pretty good. I mean, imagine where I would be if I wasn't able to do it. I mean, block hitting is one of those things where the synchronization between your fingers sort of gets mixed up a bit, and you kind of have to learn how to occasionally time clicking with your middle finger instead of actually just spam block hitting and not at all getting any sort of momentum. I mean, it's a bit of a chore, but at the end of the day, it ends up working out. W tapping was a whole different story. It was a little bit easier, and once you learn how to combine W tapping with block hitting, PvP tends to get quite easy, I'd say. And obviously, you're going to run into the occasional man who seems to have nothing better to do with his life other than to sit on this game all day and grind. But you still should be fine. It is largely about your aim, though. If there's one like key difference between Bedrock and Java Edition, is that the hitboxes are incredibly different, and by incredibly, I mean literally they could not be more different. For example, on Bedrock Edition, actually, you can include the player's shoulders and arms in the hitbox, which makes it so much easier to just get a little bit of a hit registration in. But on Java, your aim has to be completely and utterly on the player's chest if you are to succeed at killing him. Otherwise, you're going to miss all your hits and end up like throwing the fight, which I don't understand. I don't understand that sort. Oh my god, this guy! Like, what the hell is this? Like, yo, I'm going to get guys who are clicking this fast. Like, hello, knockback stick? Are we serious? And that's another thing. I mean, in this era, man, like fighting is so sweaty. You cannot go a single game without coming across a man who has the worst of intentions and will buy the most sweaty items in the world just to get you out of the game, and it's pain. I cannot describe it in any other way. It is pain. You know, at least in games like Valorant, Rainbow Six Siege, or even like other servers, you have ranks, some sort of matchmaking, right? But in Minecraft, there's zero sense of matchmaking. I mean, you're on your own. Once you get into Bedwars, it could be you versus someone who's been playing for 10 years. You have no control over it. And when you end up fighting them, you're going to get your butt kicked. As simple as that. You're not winning. And if you ever try to, it takes a really long time to end up developing those skills. And once you end up developing them, it's far too late, and often your KD's already messed up, and everything else is already sort of on the line, and it's not the funnest of experiences. I think this guy's actually gone. No, but even now, as I record this video, like it is not genuinely not easy. Like having to concentrate this hard while commentating is not something I'm generally uh, excited about or used to, but it's something that is almost required because these people, they just know how to fight. It's not necessarily going to be entertaining gameplay if, the person you're watching is constantly losing. But other than that, it's a challenge, man. Not easy to actually maneuver around all the different sort of, I'll call them like sweaty areas of the game, which is basically every area at this point. I mean, every trick in the book has been discovered. 1.8 PvP itself, it's a very, very old form of fighting, and it has passed its prime. And to be honest, I don't, my lord, I don't see it necessarily improving in the sense of finding new things to exploit about it. I mean, what hasn't been exploited? We have so many different methods to fight, forms of combat that have just been abused beyond any logical sense. People just know the game inside and out like the back of their hand, and there are no matchmaking systems preventing newer players from fighting older players. But if, let's say, we were to implement a matchmaking system, what would really happen? Well, to put it frankly, you'd have games where there would be no players. Solo Bedwars as a Minecraft minigame does not have nearly enough space to actually hold, or actually, sorry, there is way too much space within Minecraft to actually host specific categories of people. Like, for example, if you wanted to have a range of like people who are between 0 and 200 stars, you'd still have a huge skill gap, and yet the games would hardly fill up because you'd have people who might be level 202 or 1806. You never know because Bedwars is just not that type of game. It's not a game itself. It's a mini game. Minecraft mini games. I think the pandemic really showed us how, you know, certain mini games can explode into popularity, and trying to maintain that popularity is practically impossible, especially when you're dealing with a game as large as Minecraft that has continuously game-changing updates. It's frankly insane. Did this man just drink an Invis pot? It's possible that he did. Okay, well, I think I'm dead. And being a new player is you're just kind of thrown into the chaos. There's no real room for improvement in terms of actually discovering new tactics within the game. And despite that, there seems to be a surplus of players trying to do that. There seems to be a lot of people who just do anything. Like, I've seen people fight with crouching, and it's like the weirdest thing in the world. I've never even considered it as like an actual PvP method because I've always found it doesn't even work. But I guess, like, we're learning different skills now within the game. Hit him. Oh my gosh, I actually hit him. What the heck? This dude is just out of control. Going back to mid again. What an absolute savage. I think a lot of players who... Oh my gosh. I think a lot of good players, or players that we consider as good, are actually just people who are opportunistic. And they only ever fight on their own terms. I don't know if that's a thing. But you fight, they always fight on their own terms and nothing else, really. They'll never fight if they don't want to. And the only way you'll ever get them is if you corner them. And even that's difficult to do now. Can I hit? Oh my goodness, there's no way he just did that. Well, anyways, that was pretty much the last of it. I feel like I've talked about a decent amount of things. I have no idea how I won that game, but it's okay because I wasn't really intending to actually showcase my skill. Anyways, video recording's got to be less than 15 minutes long, so I kind of got to go. Have a good day. If you enjoyed, subscribe. If you don't want to, that's all good. Bye.